How safe is this train currently swinging by us?
It's safe enough for me to go on.
California is the most populous state in the U.S., known for its diverse landscapes, vibrant cities, and cultural richness. From the beaches of the Pacific Coast to the mountains and redwood forests, it offers stunning natural beauty stretching from San Diego to San Luis Obispo. And to truly experience these scenes, travelers often hop on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. Recently, however, the state government has made an important announcement about this transportation system. So, what exactly is this announcement? Let's find out in today's episode of Great Trainspeed. As part of a casual travel plan, when passengers from San Diego want to take a ride up to San Luis Obispo, they often hop on the Pacific Surfliner, a train that offers one of the most scenic rail journeys in the United States. Along the way, they can witness stunning natural landscapes, meet vibrant cities, and diverse cultures, from coastal cliffs and golden beaches to lively urban centers like Los Angeles and Santa Barbara. It sounds like the perfect ride to sit back, relax, and watch California's beauty pass by your window. But the plan doesn't always go as smoothly as expected. The problem is that there's only one rail track with a handful of double-track segments connecting San Diego to Los Angeles and the rest of California. This single-track corridor is often congested, limiting the number of trains that can run and causing frequent delays for passengers. Even worse, sections of the track are built dangerously close to eroding cliffs along the coast, making them vulnerable to landslides and storm damage. As a result, service is sometimes suspended entirely for emergency repairs, cutting off a critical transportation link for Southern California. And Del Mar is one of the rail corridor's worst pinch points. These issues highlight the urgent need for upgrades if California wants to maintain reliable rail service along this beautiful yet fragile coastal route. There is also one other way to travel this route, taking a bus, but that too often feels unreasonable. Riding this route using Amtrak's connecting buses typically costs more than taking the train, and these buses are almost always full. Tickets often sell out a week in advance, making it impossible for travelers to simply decide to hop on at the last minute. This leaves passengers caught between paying more for a crowded bus or dealing with frequent delays on the only rail line, highlighting just how fragile and limited California's coastal transportation network really is. So, what exactly is the government doing to tackle this mess and make things better? Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of our updates, and you'll always be in the loop on what's really going on in the train world. Imagine riding the Pacific Surfliner along California's coast, only to find your journey constantly threatened by crumbling cliffs and unexpected delays. Now picture a future where your train glides seamlessly through tunnels beneath the bluffs, safe from landslides and rising seas. That's exactly what Sandag, the county's transportation planning agency, is working to make a reality. To tackle the risks along this fragile stretch of the Los Angeles-San Diego-San Luis Obispo rail corridor, Sandag has unveiled 3 bold proposals to relocate the tracks inland and underground, and they're asking for public input before moving forward. These plans focus on a critical 1.7-mile segment between Sereno Valley and Solana Beach, where the current tracks sit dangerously close to the eroding cliffside. Each alternative explores different tunnel routes and alignments to balance cost, environmental impact, and long-term safety. Sandag has proposed 3 alternatives to relocate the Del Mar train tracks to address coastal erosion and improve safety. Alternative A would remove the above-ground tracks entirely, tunneling the railway from Carmel Mountain Road and Route 56 along Interstate 5 and under the fairgrounds with a new underground special events platform near Solana Beach. Alternative B also starts the tunnel at Carmel Valley but exits near Jimmy Durante Boulevard, requiring elevation changes there, and would route the tracks under parts of Torrey Pines State Reserve and Del Mar instead of the Interstate and Lagoon. Alternative C features the shortest tunnel, starting near Torrey Pines State Beach and exiting under Jimmy Durante Boulevard, while using a bridge over Los Peñasquitos Lagoon and raising the tracks around it, requiring minimal inland relocation near Camino del Mar, but potentially affecting some residential properties, making it the least invasive of the three options. Furthermore, Sandag found that switching to electric trains could get people from Oceanside to San Diego in under 30 minutes, which is pretty amazing when you think about how long it usually takes to drive that stretch, even on a good day. Imagine skipping all that traffic, the endless brake lights, and the stress of trying to merge on the 5 during rush hour, and instead just sitting back, relaxing, and getting there faster by train. It sounds like a win for everyone, right? But here's the catch. Electric trains need overhead wires to run, and to fit those wires safely, they'd need to build a wider tunnel through Del Mar. And as you might guess, a bigger tunnel means a bigger price tag, which makes it a tough call for planners who have to balance what's best for riders with what's realistic for the budget.
That we're at least aware of the costs that we will incur in the maintenance of the life cycle of this infrastructure.
It's one of those moments where you can see how much better things could be, but you also realize it's not as easy as flipping a switch. Still, the thought of cutting down commute times and making travel smoother for thousands of people each day makes it feel like a future worth working toward. And that hurdle? Yep, it's still standing in the way. As of July 1st, 2025, Del Mar is moving ahead with its vision for the future, with strong backing from both the government and the community. The Del Mar project aims to improve local infrastructure, protect the coastal environment, and address rising housing demands, all while preserving the small-town charm that residents and visitors value. To support these goals, the city has secured critical funding sources. It is considering a $17 million iBank loan, structured as a 15-year commitment from California's state lender, to help fund a mix of public and private projects, reflecting Del Mar's commitment to responsible, forward-thinking financial planning. Additionally, in October 2024, the Del Mar Fairgrounds settled a $5.6 million dispute related to an ineligible pandemic-era Paycheck Protection Program loan, closing a significant financial chapter and freeing up resources for future investments. However, turning this vision into reality comes with challenges. One major hurdle is the transportation bottleneck along the coast. As Del Mar plans for growth, this fragile rail link could face even more pressure, making it harder for residents and visitors to travel efficiently along the coast. Rail advocates have expressed concerns that without significant upgrades, the project could end up locking in slower and more polluting trains to Los Angeles, undermining Del Mar's sustainability goals. While Sandag has proposed relocating the train tracks away from the collapsing bluffs in Del Mar, the city's ambition for a more connected and vibrant future will depend on whether it can modernize its aging and congested transportation system to match its broader vision. So what do people think about this project? Passenger opinions on the Del Mar Tunnel and future electrification plans are all over the place. But one thing is clear, people care. Some see the tunnel as a bold and necessary step, pointing out that any serious rail project should plan for future electrification from the start. Others highlight how electrifying rail lines, like the Caltrain route from San Francisco to San Jose, has already made trains quieter and faster, proving that it's worth the investment. There's also some confusion and frustration in the mix, with one writer questioning why people in Del Mar complain about how overhead wires look when they're fine with the sight of crowded freeways. Many transit supporters argue that it's not complicated, just build the tunnels wide enough now so that overhead wires can be added later, and don't settle for hydrogen or battery gimmicks. When proven, reliable electrification is the gold standard worldwide. There's also criticism of how the government seems quick to spend on adding more lanes to I-5, but drags its feet when it comes to funding rail tunnels that could take cars off the road. So, which alternative do you think works best for this project? And why? Share us your thought in the comment. Thanks for riding along with us today. We appreciate you hanging out, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.